Invest in real estate with no money? Here's how. Most people believe you need thousands of dollars to invest in real estate. But what if I told you that's not true? In this video, I'll show you how you can start investing in real estate with little to no money, and how thousands of smart investors are already doing it. So if you're tired of hearing that real estate is only for the wealthy, stick around, because I'm about to break down 5 powerful strategies that require little to no upfront cash. One of the absolute best ways to dip your toes into real estate investing is through house hacking. And no, this doesn't involve any hacking of any kind. Instead, it's a strategy that can essentially eliminate your housing costs and even put money back in your pocket. The concept is pretty straightforward. You buy a multifamily property, like a duplex, triplex, or even a fourplex, and you live in one unit while renting out the others. The rent you collect from your tenants will ideally cover your mortgage payment, property taxes, and maybe even some of your other expenses. Essentially, you're leveraging the bank's money and using other people's rent to pay down your mortgage and build equity in an asset you own. Now you might be thinking, Alex, I barely have enough for a down payment on a regular place, let alone a multifamily property. And that's where FHA loans come in. These government-backed loans only require a 3.5% down payment, making them much more accessible for first-time homebuyers. Let's say you find a duplex for $400,000. With an FHA loan, you'd only need a $14,000 down payment, which is significantly less than the typical 20% down payment required for investment properties. And here's the best part. Once you've built up some equity and improved your credit score, you can always refinance into a conventional loan with better terms down the road. House hacking isn't just about saving money, it's about building long-term wealth through real estate, all while living rent-free. Let's face it, not everyone is cut out to be a landlord or wants to deal with the hands-on aspects of owning a rental property. But that doesn't mean you can't still capitalize on the lucrative world of real estate. This is where wholesaling comes in. A strategy that involves little to no upfront investment and can be done entirely with hustle and negotiation skills. Here's how it works. You find a property that's significantly undervalued, often distressed properties that need some work. You negotiate a price with the seller, get the property under contract, and then, and this is the key part, you assign that contract to another investor for a fee, without ever actually buying the property yourself. Think of it like being a middleman, connecting motivated sellers with eager investors. Your profit comes from the difference between the price you negotiated with the seller and the price you assign the contract for. And the beauty of wholesaling is that it requires minimal upfront investment. You don't need to worry about renovations, tenants, or mortgage payments. All you need is the ability to spot a good deal, some solid negotiation skills, and a network of investors ready to buy. So, how do you find these deeply discounted properties? That's where your hustle comes in. Start by networking with real estate agents, attending foreclosure auctions, looking for properties with overgrown lawns or boarded-up windows, and even sending direct mail campaigns to distressed homeowners. Remember, the key is to find properties that are undervalued and have the potential for profit. Wholesaling is all about speed and efficiency. The faster you can find a deal, get it under contract, and assign it to an investor, the faster you can make a profit. It's a great way to get your foot in the door in the real estate world and learn the ropes without risking your own capital. Chapter 3. Let's talk about a strategy that often gets overlooked, but it can be a game changer, especially if you're light on cash seller financing. Now, most people think getting a traditional mortgage from a bank is the only way to buy real estate. But what if I told you could bypass the banks altogether and negotiate directly with the seller to finance the purchase? That's exactly what seller financing, also known as owner financing, is all about. Instead of going through the often rigorous process of bank loans, you work out a payment plan directly with the seller. This gives you incredible flexibility and opens up opportunities that wouldn't be possible with traditional financing. You see, sellers often have different motivations than banks. They might be more interested in a steady stream of passive income from your monthly payments than getting a lump sum up front. This can work to your advantage, especially if you can demonstrate your financial stability and commitment to making on-time payments. One of the biggest benefits of seller financing is the potential for little to no down payment. You can negotiate directly with the seller and agree on terms that work for both parties. This can be a game changer if you're short on cash, but have a solid income and a strong track record of financial responsibility. Plus, with seller financing, you can often avoid the stringent credit checks and income verification requirements that come with traditional mortgages. This can be a lifesaver if you're self-employed, have a less than perfect credit history, or haven't been in the same job for years. Chapter 4. Real estate is rarely a solo sport. In fact, some of the most successful investors have built their empires by leveraging the power of partnerships. Now you might be thinking, Alex, I don't have thousands of dollars to invest. How can I even consider a partnership? Well, here's the thing. Money isn't the only valuable asset you can bring to the table. If you lack capital but have other strengths, like time, market knowledge, negotiation skills, or a knack for finding great deals, you're already sitting on valuable assets that potential partners would be eager to have. Think about it. There are countless individuals out there with the financial resources to invest, but lack the time, expertise, or desire to handle the day-to-day operations of a real estate deal. That's where you come in. By partnering with someone who has the capital, you can leverage their financial resources while you bring your unique skills to the table. This creates a win-win situation where both parties benefit from each other's strengths. The key to a successful partnership is finding the right person to work with. Look for someone who shares your investment philosophy, has a similar risk tolerance, and complements your skill set. Once you've identified a potential partner, it's crucial to establish clear communication, define roles and responsibilities, and have a legally binding agreement in place that outlines the terms of the partnership. This will help prevent misunderstandings and ensure a smooth and profitable collaboration. Remember, partnerships are all about leveraging each other's strengths to achieve a common goal. By pooling your resources, knowledge, and networks, you can unlock opportunities that wouldn't be possible on your own. Chapter 5. Let's dive into two strategies that are often confused but can be incredibly powerful for aspiring real estate investors with limited funds, lease options, and rent-to-own agreements. Now, both of these strategies allow you to control a property without actually buying it upfront, which can be a huge advantage if you don't have a large down payment saved up or want to test the waters before committing to a purchase. Let's start with lease options. With a lease option agreement, you're essentially renting a property with the option to buy it later at a predetermined price. You'll pay an upfront option fee, which gives you the exclusive right to purchase the property within a specific time frame, typically 1 to 3 years. During the option period, you'll make regular rent payments, a portion of which may go towards the purchase price if you decide to exercise your option. This strategy can be beneficial for several reasons. First, it gives you time to improve your credit score, save for a larger down payment, or simply test out the neighborhood and the property itself before committing to a purchase. Now, rent-to-own agreements are similar to lease options, but with a key difference. With a rent-to-own agreement, a portion of your rent payments is credited towards the purchase price, and you're obligated to buy the property at the end of the lease term. This can be a good option if you're certain you want to buy the property and are confident in your ability to secure financing when the lease expires. However, it's essential to carefully review the terms of the agreement, as you may lose your option fee and any rent credits if you fail to purchase the property as agreed. Both lease options and rent-to-own agreements can be valuable tools for getting into real estate with little money down, but it's crucial to understand the differences and carefully weigh the pros and cons before entering into either type of agreement. Now you know that money isn't the biggest obstacle, knowledge is. Choose one of these 5 strategies and start taking action today. Remember, real estate investing is a journey, and it all starts with that first step. Whether you're house hacking your way to free housing, wheeling and dealing as a wholesaler, or partnering up to leverage your skills, there's a path for you in the exciting world of real estate. Which of these strategies do you think is the best for you? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more in-depth guidance, check out my free guide on getting started in real estate investing. Link in the description.